this weekend is Kentucky. I know last time Kentucky came to town, it was a huge game. We had Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler, Pearlville was outside. We actually already see it starting to happen. I know I slept outside over 24 hours. Everyone knew if we won that game, there was a chance we were going to be ranked the number one team in the country. So how did the atmosphere of that game impact the decision to have this year's Outlive game? Last year it was Alabama. How did it impact that?
Well, we try.
I want to ask you, where do you see Auburn under Hugh Freeze in the next 3 years? We have a top 15 recruiting class in 2024. We flipped wide receiver Perry Thomas from Alabama, DeMarcus Riddick from Georgia. Where do you see the Auburn program going in 3 years? Are we back to Cam Newton, Nick Marshall level? Where do you think Hugh Freeze can take Auburn?
Welcome to From the Plans to the Pros. I'm Joleigh Cavanagh, here to give you updates on former Auburn Tigers in the NFL and NBA. This week, while there were some great plays, unfortunately, there were a lot more injuries that occurred. So let's see what happened. Auburn women's basketball got their second win on the season Thursday night in Neville Arena when they took down Louisiana. Last season, the Auburn Tigers defeated Louisiana with over 40 points. This season was a close matchup with Auburn defeating Louisiana 60-54.
I know in your podcast you mentioned recently how when a coach who specializes in something specific and it goes wrong the week before, like Auburn offensively, quarterback situation not good, but that's something that Hugh Freeze specializes in, something he's been forthright in telling that's something we need to work on. So what do you think that Hugh Freeze is going to do this weekend to improve that offense against Georgia's defense?
I didn't mean to do that.
No, you're good.
But
it's personal. This shows how much this means to you and how it hits close to home. And this is why the Auburn community loves you. You are not only just an amazing coach, but you are a true Auburn man. And you're raising awareness for something that is so incredibly amazing. And it is personal to me, too.
Keeping it in Green Bay, Packers safety Rudy Ford had another dominating performance. He had 9 total tackles, 1 pass defended, and an interception on the night. He was able to jump in front of Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers to pick off Jimmy Garoppolo and run for 9 yards. This was Ford's second interception in back-to-back games, and this had him as the second highest graded Green Bay player for the second week in a row with a grade of 75. Jumping back to the U.S. on Sunday Night Football, New York Jets tight end C.J. Uzomah had his first touchdown of the season. It was 2nd and 1 at the Kansas City 1-yard line, and Uzomah was able to come away with the catch from Zach Wilson.
The first half of the cornerback duo, Jamel Dean, had another great game. He recorded 8 total tackles and 2 passes defended. One of these passes defended was on a crucial 4th and goal situation for the Bills, which led to Dean forcing a turnover on downs. Josh Allen tried to find Dalton Kincaid in the end zone, but Dean was there to break it up.
It actually touches one of your own players, Dylan Cardwell, his grandfather. He said in an interview, that Outlive means to him to go beyond the circumstances, that cancer doesn't put you in a box. So what does the term Outlive mean to you?
But wait, before we end this week, I cannot go without mentioning Sharif Cooper. In his first 3 games this season for the Charge of the G League, Cooper has scored 60 points, then 25 points, then 31 points. In addition, he officially reached the 1,000 point mark and was the 12th Charge player in history to do so. He also was the fastest ever in Charge history, as he did so in only 45 games.
Moving on to the defense, a lot of people think Auburn's defense is great. Our secondary is what's going to keep us in games. So how do you think Auburn's secondary, we have Donovan Kaufman, DJ James, Nehemiah Pritchett, how do you think they are going to line up against Georgia receivers like tight end, arguably the best tight end in college football, Brock Bowers, Ra Thomas, Dominic Lovett? How do you think Auburn's secondary is going to be able to protect?